안녕하십니까? 11월 19일 수요일 영국의 소리방송 뉴스 데스크의 오드리 변입니다. 오늘 뉴스는 홍콩 사태를 BBC가 다큐멘터리 형식으로 보도하였습니다. 내용이 좋아서 영상을 그대로 올려드리고자 한글 자막을 군데군데 올렸습니다. 홍콩 사태를 이해하시는데 도움이 되시기 바랍니다.
This situation is pulling families apart.
係啊，直情係。
These are traumatic days for the people of Hong Kong. We've been seeing this for months. A row over a government bill, demands for greater democracy, allegations of police brutality. But speak to people here and they'll tell you this crisis goes so much deeper and it's been decades in the making.
With respect, the UK already sold out Hong Kong to China in the 1980s.
After a century and a half of colonial rule, Britain agreed to hand Hong Kong back to China in 1997.
Now, Hong Kong people are to run Hong Kong.
我覺得開心嘅，因為我可以好同出邊人講我係中國人咯。This long 喎。
Okay. When was the last time he was in here?
25 July。
Jenny was born here in Hong Kong, but she calls herself Chinese. Her sons are all involved in the protests. Two of them won't speak to her anymore.
喺呢個運動之前，呢個反修例事件嘅之前咧，我哋好親密，我哋成個家庭，因為我翻工每日我好準時收工就翻嚟煮飯煲湯係好痛心咯。唔知啊，應該知嘅，應該知，因為佢都話，佢都希望呢件事快啲過，即係快啲完結。
Do you think the boys will be home for soup?
都有信心嘅。
So your soup is more powerful than politics?
I hope so.
When Britain handed Hong Kong back, China agreed that for 50 years, until 2047, life in Hong Kong would stay pretty much the same. The current social and economic systems of Hong Kong, the two sides agreed, will remain unchanged, and so will the lifestyle. For Hong Kongers, that meant keeping all the rights they enjoyed under British rule. But communist China was a very different place, so Beijing had a term for the new arrangement: one country, two systems. But how could that possibly?
有啲住戶搬入嚟嘅會見到一啲可能應該係新移民嘅家庭，或者係家庭入邊聽到佢哋講啲廣東話都唔係好純正嘅一啲家庭。
That's the dialect that most Hong Kongers speak. It's very different from the Mandarin spoken by most people on the mainland. But more and more schools here teach Mandarin, like Cyrus's, where some children cross over from the mainland every day.
其實我會覺得你係只係去將就一啲用普通話做母語嘅小朋友。 有時可能喺學校同老師用普通話溝通，咁好明顯佢嗰個普通話絕對係唔會純正嘅，咁即係變相我會覺得好似兩頭唔到岸咁樣咯。
Some of the things Hong Kongers say about mainlanders are troubling, even xenophobic. They've been called locusts. Ying has been here for 8 years.
即係佢落咗嚟咁多年都有歧視嘅情況嘅，因為係啊，我喺街市都有撞到即係歧視嗰啲情況啦。有時咧佢就話你啊，你個死人衰樣，仲冇錢買啊咁樣，針對大陸人嘅示依家嘅示威，同埋都有話減150個名額嘅，即係嗰個單程證嘅名額。 有時你即係我又聽到就係 聽到都係有啲驚嘅。
Hostility towards China has been building for years. Immigration and language play a part, but it's also because Hong Kongers feel China is trying to impose its will.
What China is doing, this is kind of imperialism. Whatever we want or not, we are now at the front line between the freedom world and the greatest dictatorship right now in the world.
In 2003, there were protests against legislation that would have threatened free speech. In 2012, it happened again when the government tried to change the school curriculum. In 2014, the issue was the way China wanted to influence Hong Kong's elections. And most recently, another controversy, a bill that would have allowed the extradition of criminal suspects to the mainland. Eventually, the government had to back down. But people fear that other things have been happening in secret. In 2015, China was accused of abducting 5 men from a bookshop where you could find scandalous accounts of life in communist China.
So here it is, Causeway Books, and it's almost 4 years on and it's still shut and firmly locked. And people have obviously been coming here leaving messages of support. Here's one that you can still read. It says, "Come back soon, we love you and your books."
20 years of almost constant friction with China have changed Hong Kong's identity. For a while, people increasingly thought of themselves as Chinese, but in the last 10 years, that's changed. And when you look at young people, it's really changed. The young protesters seem to think they've got nothing to lose, and faced with what they see as excessive brutality from the police, they're more and more ready to use violence themselves.
If China trying to get this place, you have to fight for it. Sure, there are some political problems, but I would say that protecting our culture is the most important thing for us.
What are you prepared?
시청해 주셔서 감사합니다. 영국의 소리방송을 사랑해 주시는 시청자 여러분, 댓글과 좋아요, 구독을 잊지 말아 주세요.